portion of the end of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pastor Wiley Drake, and I'm coming to you from Dallas, Texas. We were unable to do our 11 o'clock television broadcast this morning because we were on an airplane. So we made our trip from Phoenix over here to Dallas. We're in the Dallas airport now, and I have almost 2-hour layover, so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do the show live right here in the air terminal. Didn't ask for permission, but I always operate on the best, and it's best to ask for forgiveness and permission anyway. But anyway, my name's Wiley Drake, and I have the privilege to serve since the year 2000 as the chairman of the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C. And we do want you to know we are on location, actually on our way to a location. We're on our way to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And we're going down there to meet with Governor Bobby Jindal, or Jindal, I'm sorry. I keep mispronouncing his name. But Bobby Jindal, I'm sorry I mispronounced your name, my brother. But Bobby has called a meeting for what he is calling Response Louisiana. And he also is meeting there with a group called American Renewal Project. And that project actually begins tonight with a prayer meeting, and then on Friday and on Saturday there'll be people from all over the United States gathering together there to stand up against what you heard the other night, and that is the State of the Union.
Attention please. Due to the TSA.
And you're going to hear announcements because I am in the airport.
Unattended bags are prohibited in or out of all central terminal areas and are subject to security search. Thank you for visiting the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport.
All right, you will hear advertisements from time to time because I am in the public area of the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. My family and I live here just down the street, not too far away, in Arlington, Texas, back when this airport first opened. And we were on one of the first flights out of here. They gave a free flight on the day they opened the airport. They gave free flights, and we took a free flight from DFW to Texarkana. I don't know if they still fly into Texarkana or not, but we flew absolutely free from DFW to Texarkana. For those of you who may not know this area, Texarkana, that name comes from two states, Texas and Arkansas. On the border there, between the two states, between Arkansas and Texas, is a city that's named Texarkana, and been around for a long, long time. But I'm on my way to Baton Rouge because we're going to be there tonight, having a prayer meeting tonight, and then tomorrow, early in the morning at 9 o'clock, a group of young people, a group of youth from all over the nation will come together to sing and to shout and praise Almighty God. Ladies and gentlemen, there may be some people that will get embarrassed about this or not like this, but we are a Christian nation, and we're going to have our rights in Baton Rouge. That is one of many of the response organizations that have met. We had one in California, Response California. There's been others, and there will be others in the near future. This one is called Response Baton Rouge. And if you'd like to find out more about it, you can go to the website. Just go to Response, R-E-S-P-O-N-S-E, Response, BatonRouge.com. And if you go there, you'll see the information on the meeting that's going to be held on Saturday. If you go to another website, if you go to one called American Renewal Project, you will find that there's a meeting on Friday there in Baton Rouge as well. And so we're bringing people in from literally all over the nation. Pastors and people, politicians, and all kinds of people coming in to Baton Rouge, Louisiana to spend 2 days in a response to the circumstances we find our nation in today, and in response to reclaiming America with a renewal project. Those of us that serve the Lord Jesus, those of us that are Christians, and those of us that come out of the Baptist background have used the term with Dr. Graham and others for many, many years, and that is the term revival. Well, Dr. Graham is almost 100 years old, and he says our nation's in trouble. He says we need revival, and we need it desperately. And the word that's being used down there is renewal. We need to renew the traditions of the United States of America. I'm broadcasting to you live right now from DFW Airport, Dallas-Fort Worth. And this is one of the largest, if not the largest, airport in the world. I'll tell you, I flew in here from Phoenix, landed here, and I thought, my goodness, I've got a big layover, and I'm glad I did. Because I came in on the E concourse way out and had to catch the AirTran over to the B section and then get the B-42. And that's where I'm at now, or near there, but I'm going out at B-44, unless they change it. And so we'll be watching that, keep up with that. But by the way, if you'd like to call me, you can reach me right now here in the airport. The phone number for the Washington, D.C. headquarters is right here with me. And if you'd like to call that number, you can call me on that number, 202-747-4839. And if you call that, I'll answer it. I promise I'll answer it. And all you got to do is call that number. And that number again is 202-747-4839. And I'm going to get this other phone off here so it don't interfere with us, with our phone call or anything else. And I'm trying to get back to what we want to do. There we go. Go back over there. All right. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, live from DFW. And if I could talk some people that are walking by here wanting to be on TV with me. You folks want to be on TV?
Who are you?
Well, I'm Wiley Drake, and I'm a pastor, and I serve as the chairman of the Congressional Prayer Conference in Washington, D.C.
I see.
And we're on our way to Baton Rouge to hold a 3-day meeting. We're going to be meeting with the governor of Louisiana, Bobby Jindal. Where are you folks from?
We are from Lemon, South Dakota.
Lemon?
South Dakota. Yes.
South Dakota. All right.
Yes.
Would you like to be on camera and say hi to the folks back home? If your husband says it's okay. Now, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble. If you want, I won't put you on unless you want to.
Well, that's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not everybody is like me, wants to be on television. My wife used to always tell me that. She used to say, baby, not everybody wants to be on camera like you do.
Yeah.
But it's my job.
Yeah.
And we broadcast our worship services from California every Sunday morning, every Sunday night, and every Wednesday night. And yet we're a small church. We're not a big, huge church. We had 70, I think, in church on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so we're a small church.
Yeah, that's small.
And but thank goodness for the internet, and thank goodness for good cameras. We can broadcast now live, even though we don't have lots of money. back in the olden days, only people that could be on TV were folks that had lots of money.
Right.
Now anybody can do it.
Yeah. Progress.
And where are you folks heading?
Well, we're headed home.
Oh, you're heading home.
We've been to St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
All right, that sounds like a great trip.
We had a granddaughter get married down there.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have a little bit in common. I just got back from a cruise, a carnival cruise with my family, a short one, just a 4-day one. And then Tuesday night before last, I took my daughter to a wedding store and bought her wedding gown.
Oh boy.
And she's getting married. It's sort of an interesting situation because she's 50 years old.
Oh,
And she's never been married.
okay.
And she met a nice, godly young man. And in April, the 25th, they're going to get married. So she called me up on Monday and said, Dad, you know the tradition? I said, what's that? She said, well, the father of the bride is supposed to pay for the dress. I said, well, I was hoping you'd forget that. But she said, no, we're going to be traditional. So we went out and picked out a dress, a wedding dress.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize wedding dresses were so expensive.
Well, they can
And she said, well, Daddy, I didn't get the most expensive. And I said, well, thank goodness. Because I might have had to sell my car or something, you know.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, she's been working in the ministry for all these years and had a boyfriend or two now and then, but finally found what she believes is the right man. They're going to get married. And so I went on a little trip like you guys did and also got involved with the wedding. The wedding hadn't come yet, but you got a daughter that's getting married or got married?
No, a granddaughter got married.
Oh, okay.
Got married.
Okay.
I found this lucky lady 60 years ago.
60 years ago. Well, on my television show, I advertise and I talk about the fact that 4 years ago, my wife went home to be with the Lord. I lost my wife 4 years ago, but that was after 48 years, 1 month and 14 days that we were married. We didn't quite make 50, but we tried.
Yeah,
Well, that's unusual nowadays, isn't it?
It really is.
It's a shame, but
It really is a shame. In fact, that's one of the reasons why we're going to Louisiana. Bobby Jindal is in agreement with you on that, the governor of Louisiana, and all this nonsense of trying to recreate and redo and do away with marriage. He said we need to get back to one man, one woman, get back to real marriage,
that's right.
and get back to the old-fashioned way. And so that's why we're going down there. We're going down there to pray, to meet, to schedule, and kind of figure out what we can do.
You know, years ago, Paul Harvey said, people are saying I do and they haven't heard the question.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good point. I love Paul Harvey. Boy, he was a great man. I'm a communications man. I've been in TV and radio most of my life. And the fact of the matter is, my degree in communications was signed by Ronald Reagan. He was known as a great communicator.
Yes, he was.
And he was the governor of California when I went to college and graduated back in 1972. And but one of my favorite guys when we were taking communications and TV classes, every student had to pick two people that they wanted to study and to learn from. And my two was Billy Graham and Paul Harvey. And so we studied Paul Harvey and Billy
Good
Graham.
choices, both of them.
Great men of God, both of them. And Paul Harvey, I love it. I say it all the time on here. I say, some of you are not going to remember this, but y'all remember there was a guy on one time, and he used to say, and that's the rest of the story. I use that all the time. In fact, I had a lady call me up the other day. She called on the air. She said, where did you hear that? I said, from Paul Harvey. And she said, well, I hadn't heard that.
Every day.
Every day he used to say, and the rest.
We never missed this program.
Yeah, great broadcaster, great communicator. Well, folks, I'm just visiting with some folks here from, where y'all from?
South Dakota.
South Dakota, all right. Well, you know, one of the things that we do every day in D.C. on our congressional prayer line, we pray for the senators from every state and we have people call in and name their senators. And I don't remember the senators' names from South Dakota. Do you all?
Okay, there's Coon and the new one who replaced Johnson. Was he?
We go through those every morning. We have somebody call in and they know who their senators are. Like when it comes to California, I say, I want to pray for Barbara Boxer and Dianne Feinstein.
The guy we didn't vote for.
Right. Rollins.
Yeah, Rollins, he's an ex-governor.
Yes, yes. I've heard we follow that pretty closely, but I don't remember it. We have so many that we have to cover.
Rollins and Coon are up there now.
But I think we've got some good senators in now, not only from your state, but from some other states, and some good governors. One of the best governors in this country, as far as I'm concerned, is Sam Brownback. He's governor of Kansas. And he was a senator for many years. In fact, he's the guy that started and helped us get the Congressional Prayer Conference.
I hope they quit this party fighting and get down and do the business they're elected to do. I'm tired of that Republican-Democrat fight every doggone year.
Yeah.
It gains nothing.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, that's what we're going to Louisiana to discuss and talk about. We need that. That's what Bobby Jindal said. Bobby Jindal said we need to get away from Republicans and Democrats. We need to get back to principle. You know, we're $17 trillion in debt, and that ought not be. And along with all the other problems we've got, and.
We're down to business.
We're trying to get back to the business of doing business and doing it right.
Attention please. Due to the TSA,
I hope that we can get something done. We're going to be meeting down here Friday and Saturday.
unattended bags are prohibited in
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did not do our show this morning at 11 o'clock Texas time because I was getting on the airplane. And I usually do my program before I get on the airplane, but the airplane and my schedule didn't work together, so I skipped the program, and that's why I'm sort of catching up here. And usually if you get some people coming by, they'll look in and we can talk them into coming on the air with me.
You know, that's this Republican and Democrat thing. Neither party has a monopoly on talent.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about that,
That's right.
they both have a lot to offer, but let's offer it. Let's not fight about it.
Yeah, let's not fight over it. That's right. Absolutely right.
Door alarms are active and monitored by DFW police.
Well, we better go back to our haunches back there.
I'm going to go back to your conscience. All right. Well, you guys have a good trip. And
Thank you.
Congratulations on your granddaughter. How many grandkids you got?
8.
8. Well, I got you beat on that. I got 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 9 grandkids and 1 great-grandkid.
We have one great grandchild.
26. Wow.
Congratulations.
That's great.
Hey, hug them all at the same time.
That's great. Well, you guys have a great trip.
Well, thank you.
And,
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. God bless you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was some folks from the hinterland, from some great parts of the country. And we're broadcasting to you live here at DFW, Dallas Fort Worth Airport. And I'm waiting for my flight. It is now here coming up on 1 o'clock California time. So that means it's coming up on 3 o'clock here. My flight doesn't go out for a while, so I'm going to sit here and do a little bit more broadcast. Maybe I could talk somebody into coming on television with me. And but people are a little bashful about coming on camera. I don't know why. I'm not, but anyway. And Where are you folks from?
From Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas. All right. Well,
And you?
I'm from California.
From California.
And I'm doing a television program right now. Would you like to be on with me? Sit down, I'll interview you, and you tell me where you, I promise not to embarrass you. I'll just ask you some simple questions. All right, let me get the camera around here. Okay, can you see yourself on that camera yet?
Yes.
Okay, well let me get it adjusted. I don't have my cameraman with me, so I got to be cameraman too. Get that tilted up there a little bit. And all right, when I interview people, I ask them 3 questions. Number 1, who are you? Number 2, where are you from? And number 3, why are you in the DFW airport? So tell our listening audience about yourself. Oh, you've been to South Padre Island. Gorgeous, gorgeous area. We lived in Texas a number of years ago, and my wife and I lived here for several years in Texas, in the East Texas, and never did go to Padre Island. And then just before we relocated back to California, my wife said, we got to go there. We heard so much about it. And so we did. And so were y'all there on vacation?
Business.
Business, okay. What's your business? What kind of business you have?
My husband's business manager for the Plumbers Local in Lubbock.
Oh, okay, Plumbers Local. All right. My stepdad was a plumber. After my father passed away, my mother remarried, and I got a new stepdad. Of course, I was already married and grown and gone. But she called me up one night and said, I'm getting remarried. Your dad passed away several years ago, and I'm going to get remarried. And she said, I'm marrying a plumber.
Oh my God.
And so she married a plumber. And he used to, you know, I was his son-in-law, but him and I used to, in good humor, but used to argue about, you know. I'd say, you don't have to do it that way. Oh, you got to do it right. If you're a plumber, you got to do it right. That's right. And so you guys are from Lubbock? Lubbock, Texas. All right. For those of you who may not have heard of Lubbock, Texas, Lubbock is in West Texas. And way back a long, long time ago, when I was much younger and much foolisher, if there is a word like that, I was a rodeo cowboy. And I rode in Texas an awful lot. And I went to Lubbock quite often. And that's rodeo headquarters, just about, for Texas. And Lubbock, Texas is a gorgeous, beautiful area. You can see for miles out there.
Out there.
Come up over a little knoll. And
If your dog runs away, you see it running away for days.
well, I'm a pastor, and I also serve as the chairman of the Congressional Prayer Conference in Washington, D.C. And I do a lot of speaking, a lot of preaching, and I'm known as a storyteller. And almost everywhere I go, I tell my Lubbock, Texas story. I was traveling at the time and had a company car. The company had bought me a car, had a brand new car. And I went to Lubbock for a trip and was coming back out of Lubbock. And of course, as you leave Lubbock, it's flat land and the speed limit is whatever you want to drive, or it was in those days. And I had to hammer down. I had to pedal to the middle. And I was boogieing across that plain there out of Lubbock, headed home. And I come up over a little knoll, and an old mama skunk with about 6 babies run out in front of me, and there was no way I could miss them. No way. I scattered skunk everywhere.
That smelled good.
It really did. And the funny part about it was I worked for that company another few years, 3 years, and when I got ready to turn the car in, I took it down and had it washed, and he said, you know, you can still smell skunk on that car. And that was 3 years later. Well, folks, we've bombarded you with a lot of noise here from the airport. We're going to go ahead and go off and wish these folks well. And I'm going to move down, maybe pick up some Mackie D here in a minute, and then get down and catch my flight into Baton Rouge. So God bless you. We'll be on the air tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Central Time. That's Texas time. We'll be live on location from Baton Rouge. And if you want to watch, you can watch tomorrow. And you want to watch later, you can see these folks on. I'm going to put the camera back around on them just for a minute. And both of you wave and tell our folks where you're from.
Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas. All right. And what's your name?
My name is J.B. Kirk.
J.B. Kirk. Another interesting story. My name is Wiley Dre, but I grew up in Arkansas. And as a little boy, I couldn't pronounce my name. And my brothers kept teasing me because I couldn't pronounce my name. And my mother said, I'm going to fix that. I'm tired of that boy getting criticized because he can't say his name. We're going to drop his name and just use his initials. So for the first half of my life, I was known as WS. But anyway, well, folks, God bless you and have a great, great day. And we'll see you in the morning live on the Wiley Drake Show at 11 o'clock, Lubbock, Texas time.
All right.